Protect the bombs.
Wall done!
Be advised, Op 4 has found a bomb.
Yen, close on!
Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Julia is on.
Swapping!
Investigate! On! Right away. In position. Visual on target.
The location has been compromised.
Hostile location.
Sitting!
Loading new mag.
I'm reloading!
Op 4, last stop standing. Friendly victorious. Hostiles eliminated. Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
These will protect us.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Plan your defense.
Nothing to see here. Yes! This is much better. Hello and welcome to Car Throttle. My name is Alex, and in this video, I'm going to find out what life is like driving the Citroen Ami quadricycle. We're going to take it for some food, and we're going to do some shopping, but first, let's go for a drive. Hey, Jesus Christ! Make sure the door's closed. So one of the benefits of having find out what life shopping. Jesus Christ! Go for a drive.
Naturen kan være hard som stein.
Jeg går fra deg.
Nothing to see here. Vehicle is cool. We're going to take it for some food and we're going to do some shopping, but first, let's go for a drive. Hey, Jesus Christ! Make sure the door's closed. So one of the benefits of having such a small motor vehicle is you want to go shopping, it's raining. It's not raining, picture the scene. Where to park? Don't want to park outside with the plebs, but look, there's a trolley park. I reckon we can just whack it straight in and then off to the shop we go. First time it? Go on, go on, go on, go on. Look at this. Oh, it's brilliant. Excellent, excellent. Ah. Right then, let us find out what a Citroen Ami is like to drive, like to live with in a city environment. We are in the glorious British city of Coventry. If you're not from the UK, don't visit Coventry. I lived here for a while, so I'm qualified to say it. Apologies to anyone from the Midlands who does live in Coventry. My thoughts are with you and your family. Anyway, first impressions of this little city car. It's very noisy, very echoey. I do have great visibility though. One thing, I don't have a central mirror, which is quite annoying. Also, the indicators don't self-cancel. No airbags, no speakers, no electric windows, no radio, no central locking. The seats, although they do look super uncomfortable, they're not too bad. I mean, I could probably do 10 or 15 minutes in here and not complain. There is literally no power. I'm doing VMAX at the moment. 45 kilometers an hour, which works out to around 26 miles an hour.
Under its floor sits a 5.5 kilowatt-hour lithium-ion battery that powers an 8-horsepower motor. 0 to 60 never happens because it's got a top speed of 28 miles an hour, meaning that if you do get a speeding ticket in a 30 zone, you'll be able to wear it as a badge of honor.
Gets off the line quite quickly, and then it just dies down. The handling is pretty good. It changes direction nice and quickly. The steering, very light. There is no power steering, but this thing only weighs 425 kilos. Something like the Renault Twizy with no doors, and it's a lot thinner. You do feel at risk a lot more, but here, it's all right. I mean, I feel like I'm in a car. I'm going to go for an overtake. I can just keep my foot flat to the floor and know that I'm not going to break the law. Come on. Maybe we can get to 47. Go on, go on. 46. There's Ethan. He looks impressed. Stay low. Try and be as aerodynamic as possible, like I'm on a motorbike. But I mean, it's a car that you can get in and just instantly know how to drive it. You've got 3 buttons here: drive, neutral, reverse. You've got 2 pedals and 1
The diffuser has been recovered.
handbrake. Little else you need to know apart from that. It is like an up.
Seconds left. Diffuser is online and active. operator remaining. One Op 4 remaining. Op 4 neutralized. Mission successful.
Scale go-kart. If you have a look underneath as well, it's all box section, quality of materials. I mean, there is no quality to the materials, but a vehicle like this is designed to be hardy, to be used by lots of people. It's a car that you'd rent for, I don't know, 20 minutes if you're in central London, you didn't want to take the tube or you didn't want to take an Uber. You wake up in the morning, you just find one outside your house. It gets you from A to B, you don't need to use your legs, and you don't need a driver's license. Now you can drive these at 17 in the UK, 14 in France, because apparently French people more mature. The camera car is actually getting away from us. I am foot flat to the floor. I can't go any faster. We're losing speed going uphill. I'm holding up traffic. But you know what? I don't care. I really don't care because I am actually genuinely having quite a good time. I don't feel too at risk of the elements. I feel quite secure. I feel safe. It's noisy in here, which is a little bit annoying. But if you're just doing little journeys, it's perfect. You can plug it in at home, you can plug it in where you like. All you need is a 3-pin socket. 3 hours, you've got a full charge, which gives you 43 miles. Now, things I don't really like are the position of the steering wheel, which I don't think you can move. No, I've had a good old feel around, you can't move the steering wheel, but it is a bit like a one-size-fits-all car. It is effectively the condom of the motoring world. Another thing I've noticed as well, when you're trying to turn a corner quite quickly, you lean over. There's nothing to actually brace yourself against. Jesus Christ. But hey, it is fun, it's quirky, it's cheap motoring, and it's electric, which is good for the environment. Anyway, let's find out how practical the Citroen Ami is, because there's quite a lot of space in here. Oh, and I see another trolley park. I'm gonna have to, obviously, get the car in there because I want to protect the bodywork as much as possible. The turning circle is very good. Loads of space on that side. Butt it up against there. Lovely jubbly. In we go.
know what to do. Op 4 located the bomb. Friendly, last operator standing. Mission critical, bomb diffuser activated. Mission failed. All friendlies have been neutralized.
Perfect.
Det er 1000 grunner til å velge Rema 1000. Grunn
Secure the bombs. Down to 15 seconds. Time expires in 10 seconds. 5 seconds to go. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Yeah! Make it happen, Citroen. We want to see it.
Oh, that's clever as well. Put your cable.
Okay.
Oh.
So, Citroen, can we get a long-termer? Ethan would like to use one as a long-termer.
I wouldn't be able to even drive to you.
Right.
And my beloved bamboo back in, it was time for lunch.
And obviously, we want a healthy lunch. That's excellent. That's a pass. It's a big fat pass.
With
Protect the bombs.
Setting trauma pack here. Gas ready to activate.
Located a bomb. Be ready for assault. Down to 10 seconds. 5 seconds left. Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for hostile action.
Ready. Just a little prick.
You're located. You're about to get scanned. Starting the timer. Enemy drone is moving into position for scans. Down to 15 seconds. 10 seconds left. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Visste du at appelsinjuice er naturlig rik på C-vitaminer, som er godt for kroppen? Men det holder med et lite glass, altså. En overraskende enkel måte å få i deg 1 av 5 om dagen. Sunniva, mye kraft i et lite glass.
As electric vehicles become more and more prominent on our roads and charging capacity more and more of an issue, Norway has come up with a clever, broad-view solution for its fleet of taxis called Electricity. In the future, it might take in far more vehicles too. The Nordic country has already committed to requiring all new cars sold from 2025 onwards are electric, and intends to build an entirely emission-free taxi service to assist in its lofty aims. With charging time an efficiency limiting factor for electric commercial vehicles in particular, they'll be doing this by charging the cabs wirelessly through the taxi rank they sit on as the taxis wait to be hired. This saves in several ways. No need to hunt out an available charger, no need to wait separately for a charge and to be hired, and no need to plug in or unplug when a fare arrives, all in which to save precious time in which to earn. In the industry, after all, time is money. The charging will take place through a process called induction. To facilitate the in-place charging plates are to be installed under the road where the taxis will park up, and a receiver located in each taxi. This will allow for charging at up to 70.
Proceed to bomb's location and defuse it. You have dropped the diffuser. The diffuser has been secured. You must recover the diffuser.
25 kilowatts entirely without cables. Induction charging works through the principle of electromagnetic induction, whereby an electric charge sent through a thick coil of wire is used to generate an electric current, the force of which in turn generates an electric current in a second coil some distance away. The process does require that the device to be charged is relatively near to the coil, and so the process is sometimes called near-field charging. As it is not absolutely precise like the connection of a cable, however, this is relatively simple to set up between a taxi and a static location, so long as the positioning of the vehicle is relatively accurate, something that can be easily achieved through normal parking. Naturally, such a process would be of limited green benefit unless the electricity being supplied to the taxis was already from a green source. Electric cars can be much greener than their petrol equivalent, but only where care is taken that the electrical source is better for the environment than the petrol it's replacing. Fortunately, Norway has that covered too, with the country's ever-improving mix of hydro and wind energy one of the greenest energy supplies in any country in the world, as well as the world's highest rate of electric vehicle ownership. At the heart of the program is a Finnish clean energy company, Fortum, through their Charge and Drive program. The company are long-time collaborators with Norway's taxi industry, with a particular focus on the ease of infrastructure, and will be heavily involved in the setup of the earliest parts of this project. Major car firms like Jaguar and Land Rover are also stepping up to the plate. The very first step is expected to be active in 2023 and will involve the installation of charging stations at the taxi rank outside the main station in capital city Oslo. The process is relatively slow, as beyond the digging up of the road for installation outside the main station, it also requires all the taxis are set up for charging. Taxis will be able to drive up to the charger and a wireless charging session will automatically start, Annika Hoffner, head of the project, said. This allows the taxis to charge in a place where they would anyway be waiting for new customers. The difference is that they won't be emitting exhaust while waiting. Instead, they will be receiving renewable energy to charge the taxi's battery. Whilst this is simply an early step, Norway is a logical place to take such a step towards a wider network. As well as its broadly green approach to energy, the Nordic country also has one of the strongest markets for electric vehicles in the world. In the long term, though, there could be far wider applications to this kind of technology. There's already research taking place into how to charge cars as they travel. While putting a charging coil in a single location or several single locations, such as in the taxi ranks, is an affordable option, doing the same down an entire street for on-the-move charging is far more challenging in terms of both cost and expanding the technology beyond a single industry. That said, Renault began looking at the idea way back in 2012.
You must locate and
Create
defuse a bomb. You must recover the diffuser. The diffuser has been secured. The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
Creating a route on the outskirts of Paris that enabled the ongoing charging of two of their Kangol electric vehicles as they drove. While the main aim is a kind of grazing charging, adding to the battery between larger charges, this could, in theory, allow indefinite driving.
The diffuser has been recovered.
Både Simon og Joe investerer i aksjer. Simon bruker eToro for å investere i aksjer.
Pace, but moving startlingly quickly in the spheres of high-speed rail, bridge building and skyscraper construction. So today we're putting on our hard hats and asking exactly how does China build so fast? China's modern economic boom is dazzling. Ballooning national prosperity has lifted hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. Skyscraper. And proved 100, colloquially referred to as the Iron Monster. Designed by the Shijiazhuang Railway Design Institute and manufactured by Beijing's Wow Joint Machinery Company, it represents nothing short of a paradigm shift in railway construction. China's often rugged landscape means that much of its rail network requires raising up on bridges or viaducts. Traditionally, these viaducts are constructed using heavy-duty cranes, which painstakingly lift narrow wedges of span into place. The Iron Monster takes a rather different approach. Rolling along already completed bridge sections on its 64 wheels, it proceeds to slide great long sections of new bridge out over the void to be laid onto the next pier. This span is then secured, after which the monster rolls back to collect the next section, fabricated trackside in a temporary factory that moves alongside the project. Not only does it look amazing, but this 580-ton, 91-meter-long beast helps the railway get built faster and more cost-effectively than more traditional techniques. A similar, even bigger cousin of the Iron Monster, known as Kunlun, is currently building the colossal 9.1-mile Meizhou Bay Bridge in China's southeast. Kunlun is capable of shifting vast 40-meter-long, 1,000-ton box girders. The sheer heft of these almighty machines makes them significantly heavier than any train the viaducts will ever be expected to carry, which is probably quite reassuring from a safety point of view. When finished, trains will hurtle along these tracks at anywhere from 120 to 220, unit cost of just $10 million per kilometer. That might sound expensive until you learn that a kilometer of tunnel in the US will typically set you back a cool $50 million. However, on China's rail network, as on its lightning-quick hospital building program, construction technology is only part of the answer. The nature of China's political and regulatory framework is, in truth, little chance of maintenance costs that all but obliterate profits. No problem when the cashed-up central government in Beijing is footing the bill. High-speed lines in Western countries are often delayed by years, or at least expensively rerouted whenever environmentally sensitive habitats are seen to be threatened by the development. This is considered less of a problem in China, for better or worse, and so things move quite a bit faster. Another problematic hold-up endured by developers in the West concerns the purchase of land, which is often prohibitively expensive and can
bomb's location and defuse it.
Reloading!
and condemn even well-run projects to years or even decades of slugging it out in the courts. In China, again, the situation is very different. If the government decides it wants the land, it simply takes over the lease. Compensation is often provided, but with little or no right of appeal. Fundamentally, the nature of electoral politics means Western leaders are often reluctant to sign off on potentially unpopular schemes, like railway lines, whose benefits might not become obvious for a generation. If a big noisy construction project might upset the electorate, any politician defending a slim majority at a forthcoming election will try and duck any hard decisions. This wastes a great deal of time. In China, senior leaders on the whole don't need to answer to their electorates, at least not in quite the same way. That arrangement isn't to everybody's taste, to be sure, but China's long-termist philosophy is undeniably helpful to its construction industry. When the Chinese government announced it would spend 2.8 trillion yuan on railway infrastructure between 2016 and 2020, organizations like the Beijing Wow Joint Machinery Company knew they could confidently invest time and money developing the Iron Monster, knowing ample lucrative contracts would follow and justify all that R&D outlay. China's mighty vision for infrastructure isn't constrained within its own borders. In 2013, leader Xi Jinping announced what became known as the Belt and Road Initiative, a vast scheme designed to establish modern railways, roads and shipping lanes across great swathes of Asia, Europe and Africa. In May 2017, for example, a railway was built on the Chinese model using Chinese machines between Mombasa and Nairobi. Its sleek modern tracks marched across the Kenyan countryside at a lively clip of 700 meters per day. And the project was completed